Oh, hi! Hello there. Before I get started on my review, I just want to explain, for those of you who did not watch my short I did last night, uh, yeah, it's pretty in pink now. I was going to watch Conan Barbarian last night. I didn't want to. I just couldn't get motivated to watch it. This was one of the choices that I was going through when I was first making my choices as to what movies I was going to put in this, and I passed it up because I wanted to do Conan the Destroyer for Sequelathon 2, which is not going to happen anymore. Eventually, and I'm going to have to do Conan Barbarian anyway for when I get to the 1982 episode of Project 80's. Yes, that's still a thing. I haven't done one in a while. I need to see what I have left in 81. Maybe I can do a new episode of that. Although I have something planned this weekend, so, you know. But Pretty in Pink is what I picked, so, to replace it. So it's a last minute replacement. I know. I'm sorry, but I just couldn't do it. So, before I start, though, quick bathroom break. And we're back. And I like to do that. And I think that Pretty in Pink was the better choice. I really... No wonder things bent. Hold on. Better. Now we're crooked. Hold on. Okay, so... Well, come on. Move! Move. Quit going crooked on me. And now it's crooked even more. Damn. So I'm professional here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so in Pretty in Pink, no. You can see me in the mirror. Hello. In the mirror, the reflection. Dead people talking in the hallway. Is that good? I hate when they talk in the hallway. Hold on a minute. One of the last two videos I'm doing for now, so I can clean my kitchen. And this thing's all doohickied up. I think that's spent enough time trying to figure it out. It just seems... That's gonna have to be good enough. So, I don't want to watch your Scream 6 non-spoiler review. I want to make this video. Pretty in Pink. So it's basically... So it's a John Hughes produced movie. Written by John Hughes. Shortly after doing 16 Candles. And this also stars Molly Ringwald. I guess it was the last collaboration that Hughes and Ringwald would do together. It was directed by Howard Deutsch, who would be the future husband of Leah Thompson, who he would direct in Some Kind of Wonderful a year or two later, which... And the father of Zoe Deutsch. You know, Madison from Zombieland 2, which technically you haven't seen my revisited review for yet because it's not live yet, but I already did it. You're also gonna notice my beard is a little bit bigger now. It is in those videos because I've already done those. But yeah, it's been described as sort of a Romeo and Juliet type thing. Two teenagers from different sides of the popularity scale. Molly Ringwald's character Andy, who is on the lower scale, she's in the poor part of town, poor or normal, as you would say. Andrew McCarthy, he's from the rich side of town, you know, all that sort of thing. And McCarthy's character Blaine. And so yeah, so that's their kind of thing. And so for me, though, there's something that doesn't work. And the relationship all of a sudden goes downhill for no reason. Like they're together and everything, and then they're hanging out, and he's like, "I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work," and he's kissing her, and then he gets this look on his face, and then after that, he just is not answering her phone calls for some reason, ignoring her, and then telling her he found someone else to go to the prom with. And it's never really explained really why he did it. At least I'm not exactly sure if they explain it. It just like she tries to say it's because they're from different classes. Like, no, that's not why. That's not why. Then why? I guess I just don't get it. Maybe it has something to do with the film's original ending, where it would see Molly Ringwald's character Andy get with Ducky, her best friend, who was played by John Cryer. If that was always the plan for them to get together, it seems like a stupid way for them to break up to get together, to get them two together. And even with that ending in mind, it wouldn't have worked, I don't think. A lot of people hated it. Test audiences, they booed when those two got together because they thought she should have ended up with her dream guy, which is what Molly Ringwald also thought about it. And I think that too. It's there's no investment if you don't have an ending where she ends up with this dream guy, because it's basically telling you, hey, poor girl, you can like this rich guy all you want, but it's never gonna work out because he's rich and you're poor. And so they reshot the ending with Andrew McCarthy having cut his hair for a stage play and lost some weight during that. And so he put on this wig, and it is obvious. I mean, it is a terrible wig. Terrible looking wig. It's terrible. Terrible. I was just like, wow, that's a bad wig. And yeah, if you didn't know it was a reshoot, you tell something's up here. If you didn't know about the reshoots or anything, you'd be going, oh yeah, something's up here. It doesn't look right. You have several other actors that make appearances, like Harry Dean Stanton as Andy's dad. Annie Potts as Ione, sort of a surrogate mother for Andy, her boss or co-worker or whatever it was, sort of like a mentor for her. Andrew Dice Clay plays a bouncer in a couple of scenes. And James Spader plays very well a bad guy, a villain, the Blaine character's best friend, Steph. What kind of name is Steph? Is it Steve? Jeff? Did one parent want to name him Steve, the other one want to name him Jeff, so hey, we'll just name him Steph? Is it Steph short for Stephen? It's never explained, it's just Steph. And Spader is fantastic. And he said before he loves playing the bad guys. And he's so good at it. He's even this and like Blacklist and other stuff like that. Even in was it Boston Legal? He wasn't really a bad guy, but he is a very douchey type character in that show. So yeah. That was, it works. And you got John Cryer as Ducky, like I mentioned. And this character, I can sympathize with this character without needing to have the character get with the girl at the end. I can sympathize with this character. You don't need him to get with the character with Andy at the end, because that's not what would happen. It's, to me, the ending, the deleted ending, original ending, whatever you want to call it, where he just gets the girl of his dreams, isn't realistic to me, because I've been through that. I've been through the whole unrequited love situation where you like someone but they don't like you back. When I was in 6th grade, I had a crush on a girl, I won't say her name, and we hung out. We were sort of in the same class, and there were 2 other guys there, and I liked her very much. But she had eyes for another guy in our little square that we hung out with. At least in the classrooms we hung out. And so she ended up going with him. I don't think it lasted very long, but I just kind of walked away from it. And then I think she moved away. I think she moved away or went to a different school or something. And like a couple years later, randomly I saw her at the 4th of July parade. And it was like, we sat next to each other, but it wasn't, never went that way. So yeah, I've been through that. So I sympathize with Ducky. I know what it's like to have unrequited, not love, but unrequited crush of sorts. So, I get it. And I generally think up to a point in this movie, Andrew McCarthy is very good. Like, this whole review series started with Andrew McCarthy, it's ending with Andrew McCarthy. Only he's not in love with a mannequin this time, it's an actual woman. Girl. Well, they were in their early 20s playing teenagers. Whatever. But up to a certain point, and that certain point is actually, like I mentioned earlier, where he basically tells her off. Because I don't understand why it happens. It feels like it could have been written better. I don't understand why it happens, because there's one scene, he's like, I'm going to make it work. We're going to make it work. He's kissing her and everything, and he's got this look on his face, and all of a sudden he's not calling her anymore, he's not talking to her, he's avoiding her on the street, and then she has to confront him in the middle of the school classroom. That just, there's no real reason why. And if you're supposed to believe it's the, the whole thing, like his friends don't accept her or something, he blatantly says that's not why. But I just don't understand why all of a sudden it's so they can have a third act breakup and get back together again, but not really, because the original intended ending was never to get back with him. He was going to have another date. So maybe he actually did ask another girl, and that got thrown away because of the alternate ending. So, but I don't think he forgot, like he said. I think it was the whole friend thing, but it just kind of threw that out for... Back to Ducky for a quick minute. There is a scene that could be a big-lipped alligator moment, because it comes out of nowhere. It's never mentioned again. Andy and Ione are in the record shop. Tracks, I think it's called. And Ione puts on this record. It's Otis Redding's song. And out of nowhere, Ducky shows up, starts lip-syncing to the song, and dancing around the entire store. And it just comes in, comes out. They never talk about it again. It just happens. It's a big-lipped alligator moment before the big-lipped alligator moment even happened, because this movie came out in 1986. And All the Let's Go to Heaven came out in 1989. So we gotta stop calling that a big-lipped alligator moment and start calling a crazy dancing ducky moment. Just he did it first. I don't know, but it just, yeah. It's really weird. It's really weird. Actually, so originally they wanted Charlie Sheen to be cast as Blaine, and John Hughes didn't go with it. It didn't. I don't think that would have worked. I mean, if he's playing Charlie Sheen could have played Spader's character. Steph could have played him. I see him playing sort of an asshole character. I mean, it's Charlie Sheen. I mean, in the 80s, they cast him as the good guy. That's fine. He was in Young Guns and Red Dawn sort of thing. But I don't know about playing this jerk with a heart of gold type character. I think Andrew McCarthy was perfect for the role. And then on the other hand, they wanted Robert Downey Jr., I am Iron Man, to play the role of Ducky. Which, if they had kept the original ending, maybe it would have worked. I think, no offense to John Cryer, but I think Robert Downey Jr. is a little more attractive. But with the ending that they went with, where, because she's not, I don't think she's gonna break. I don't think she's gonna pass up. Either way, I don't know if it would have worked for someone. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. wasn't a heartthrob per se at that point, but I don't know. He's more attractive than John Cryer. John Cryer. So I don't know how much that would work for him to play the outcast best friend. I don't know. And there's also a theory that, some people have theorized that Ducky is actually gay but doesn't realize it. Because, well, he's based on Molly Ringwald's best friend who was gay. But John Cryer come out and said he doesn't think that's that's true. Fair to him. If he wants to think that, that's fine. I can see it. The way he dresses, eccentrically, a little effeminate. I could see it, but it could go either way. In this day and age, if they remade this movie, he would end up being that way, guaranteed, because they gotta have one LGBT character. Although I would say if you were doing that, the Ione character would work better. Ione character could work better, and she could be sort of a, what do you call it? Bisexual. Yeah, let me think of it first. She could be bisexual, and she could have a date with a man one night, date with a woman another night. I think the Ione character would work perfectly for that. If you wanted to update it, remake it, and have a character like that, Ione would be perfect for that, I think. Her free-spirited nature of the character works well with that. So, hey, there you go. If you're going to remake it, make the Ione character, I'd be all for it. It'd be the perfect character to do that with. So, Or another way you could go with it is, so it's revealed that Steph has resentment towards Andy for, rebuffing his advances. So what if you did a remake? It could be the Spader's character, Steph, could be having animosity towards Andy because he secretly has a thing for Blaine. And you could have two characters in there that represent the LGBT, and I think it would work either way. Now, it might not work for some people, but I think those two characters could fit well within the LGBT community. And look at me, a guy who always says, hey, don't mess with original stuff. I don't want to make April O'Neil African American, but I think these two specific characters could work if you change just a few things. But I don't think Ducky should be gay. I think he should, because it works better if he is the best friend character, which, yes, it's 16 Candles all over again. But if he's the best friend character that has unrequited love, a character that was done way over the top, but still very well in not another teen movie. Ricky. I think his name is Ricky in that one. But, excuse me. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. The soundtrack is cool. The song that plays at the end, If You Leave, dun, 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 that was good. I didn't particularly care for the opening song, which was Pretty in Pink, but the guy sounded Pretty in Pink. I'm just like, was he having an off day when they recorded this? Doesn't sound very good to me, but okay. But yeah, overall, I enjoy it, and I would say that it's pretty good. Done. I'm done. I finished it. I gotta do the ranking yet. But I gotta find the Short Circuit DVD somewhere. I don't know where the hell I put it. Move things around to do the ranking. But I'm pretty, yeah. pretty much done with this. It's gonna be interesting ranking though, because there's a, it's interesting. Excuse me. What are your thoughts on Pretty in Pink? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.